Welcome to the channel. Today's date is December 14th, 2024, and it's a Saturday. And what we're going to be talking about today is someone asked me what can go wrong with selling puts and selling calls, and just so happened we was using MicroStrategy stock. And my answer to him, I gave him several different answers back about this and about that. You can read it in the comments over the video. But then he came back and said, I was just joking. Infinite things can go wrong with selling calls or selling puts against a stock. And I happen to disagree. I don't believe hardly anything can go wrong with selling a call or selling a put against a stock. Let's get straight into it. I know that was a pretty bold statement to say, can nothing go wrong with selling a stock? Selling a put or selling a call against a stock. And to me, that is true. What can go wrong is if you pick the asset, if you pick the wrong asset, or you don't understand the direction of that asset, or the stock moves against what you believe is going to do. So that's not really on the call or the option. I'm here to argue that it'll make you a little bit more safely. So what the first thing we're going to do, we're going to still use MicroStrategy, even though they're getting ready to go into the NASDAQ 100, which is really, really bullish for it. As y'all know, I'm a bear. But we're going to use MicroStrategy still to go over why I believe that it's not risky. And so I said today was December 14th. And so we're going to use the December 20th calls that open up, that closed next Friday. And the reason why I'm going to keep using MicroStrategy, not that it's a stock that I focus on, I'm going to keep using it because I've never seen premiums on a stock like this. And to me, this is the easiest money out there to make. So in using this scenario that we have right now, MicroStrategy closed at $411 on Friday. So we know it's going to start trading on Monday. It's going to move in different directions, but this still gives us a good example to go over with you. And the reason why I believe that is safer is because we're going to be selling puts, and we're going to be selling the puts at a much lower price than what MicroStrategy now. But let me first tell you, if in this case we're selling puts, so that means if you sell one put, you could be assigned 100 shares if it drops below your strike price. So if you don't have strong conviction and you're not long MicroStrategy, then you shouldn't be selling puts. So again, MicroStrategy at 411. So in this case scenario here, if this person that's selling puts against MicroStrategy at 411, and we're going to show you here why we think it's safer. That means if they're selling puts against it, that means they're long. Because if it goes below their strike price, they can roll it out and stuff like that we went over in other videos. But in this video, we're not going to go over that. We're just going to stick with the facts of why I think selling puts and selling calls is actually safer than just owning the common stock. So we got two choices when we're looking at MicroStrategy on Monday. We're bullish on MicroStrategy. That's what we're saying in this scenario. So MicroStrategy at 411 right now, we can go in and buy 100 shares of MicroStrategy right now at 41,000. If MicroStrategy go down, then we lost money. If MicroStrategy goes up, then we made money. But instead of just selling the stock, instead of just buying the stock, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of hedge ourselves a little bit, and we're going to sell calls. We're going to sell puts against it. In this scenario here, we're selling the $300 put. We're selling the $300 put. We're selling one, and they're going to give us $205 to. That's why I tell you, I keep going back to these MicroStrategy options because they are outrageous. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I can't remember a time where I seen someone had the volatility in the put options were paying out so much. So the reason why I tell you that it's safe, as I said, we had two choices. We could have purchased MicroStrategy at 411, or we could sell the put at 300. So if by December 20th, here's what'll happen. If MicroStrategy go to 295, we still keep the $205 that we got. We will get more than likely we'll get assigned the shares at 300, and the stock will be selling at 295. Why do I say that selling options are the problems is not infinite? It's not the problem that selling the put didn't mess you up. You picked the wrong asset. So if you pick the wrong asset in the direction that you believe that it was going in, you're going to have, it's going to be a mistake. It's not because you sold the put. And we only do capital cover puts. We have enough money to cover it. We don't do naked. Naked is too risky, and things that can go on with it is infinite, and it can go bad, and you can actually go broke. But because we're saying we got the $30,000 to buy MicroStrategy at 300, so if it falls below that, we'll go right into it. So I think that kind of explains it. It's not the put that you sold, it's that you picked the wrong asset. So what we're going to do now is we're going to act as if, so I have to do it this way, is we're going to act as if we got a signed MicroStrategy at, let's say we sold the 415 put and we got assigned it yesterday on Friday. So we're going to move into the opposite side of this. So we only sell calls under two circumstances. And to me, there's the only two circumstances that you should sell calls on. So, and like I said, if you own MicroStrategy, in this case scenario, we say we was assigned it and it's at 411 and we sold the fourth and we sold the 415 put. So we got assigned it. And the two, like I said, the two case scenarios is that we can either one hold on to the stock, or we can turn around and we can sell calls. That's one of the ways that we do it, is that we own the stock and we sell calls. And we only sell calls when we are prepared to sell the stock. The same way you should only sell puts when you're prepared to own the stock. You should only sell calls if you own the stock, if you're prepared to sell it. And so in that case scenario, you can't lose money. So let's just say so we was assigned it. So we're going to go through this real quick, this scenario. So we're going to turn around, and because we just kind of really want the money, we was assigned at 415. So we're going to go to the 420 strike. And again, this is what makes these really special. This is what makes MicroStrategy really special. I know it's volatile. I know it's risky. Again, let me lay it out again to try to make sure that you can understand this completely. So last week, we sold a 415 put. The stock dropped below below 415, so we were assigned at 411. We were assigned at 415, and now the stock is down to 411. That actually means we're losing $400, even though we sold the put and we got $205 against it. So we're down like $200. So as I said, we only sell calls two reasons: when we own the stock or we want to take a short position, which I will explain after this. So because our strike price was 415, we turned around and we're selling the 420 strike on Monday that closed on Friday on December 20th. And as you can see here, and this is real, this is what makes these options so special, we get $1,800 back. They'll give us $1,875. In this case scenario, two things can happen. MicroStrategy can run through our 420 strike price, which it probably will, because they're being added to the NASDAQ 100, if I had to guess. Or it could go down and we'll still own it, and we have to keep repeating this, or we would just own MicroStrategy, for the long term, one or the other. So that's what happened in that case scenario. So now we're going to go with the other case scenario, is if we want to take a short position. And what we'll do the same. You can do the same thing in the opposite way as we do in a call, as we do in a put. So we're going to go out to 500. So on Monday, we don't have no position at all, and we're going to open up a call. We're going to open up a call position, and we're only going to open up this call position. We don't own no shares, and we're only going to open up the call position because we believe that we're going to, if we get a sign, we're going to short the stock. So it's at 411. We sell on December 20th. So a couple things can happen in this case scenario. MicroStrategy can stay where it's at or go a little bit higher, but not to 500, and we just keep the $560. MicroStrategy can move down, and we still keep the $560. MicroStrategy can go up above our price, and one of the things that we can do, not to confuse you, and you can go back and look at another video, the last video we put out, if it starts to move, let's say it goes to 470, we can decide to roll that option out. We can roll our 500 out to December 27th, and probably roll it up to like 600 and something like that is what we would probably do with it. Or we could say, you know what, at $500 we want a short position. So you got to have the $50,000 because we don't do naked. So you got to have the $50,000 to short MicroStrategy. And then when you once you're shorted, then you can sell puts because you're short the stock. And if it falls below that price, then you will lose the shares, or MicroStrategy can go up and you start losing money. And to recap, so it's not a matter that selling options is risky. What's risky is unless you're selling naked. If you're selling naked, which we don't recommend, it could be super risky. But if you're not selling and you have the capital or you have the shares, you can see it's not the options are risky in selling the options. It's how you pick the underlying asset. And once MicroStrategy, options go away, we'd probably stay away from MicroStrategy. And we do this with all our stocks. This is a way that we can enter a position. Let's say if we want to own UPS, UPS is around 128. We may sell weekly puts on it every week until it goes below our strike price. And at that time, we can roll it out, or we can be assigned because we think UPS is really, really cheap at this time. So that may be some. So that's a good way to enter a position. And let's say if we own a, or like right now we own AT&T, it's up to 23 something. We real bearish on the market as a whole. So every week we're selling calls. We own the shares. We're selling calls against it, and we're prepared to lose our shares if it rises above our price. And in the meantime, we can continuously make income. I hope this was understandable. I hope this helped you out. Good luck investing, and we out.